There's a Cambridge economist named Kate Raworth. She talked about something called the donut economics. In the donut economics, a donut has a hole in the middle and a ring. Outside the ring of the donut is the ecology and the world. You have to take care of the ecology and the world. And inside the ring of the donut are the people, humanity. You got to take care of humanity. So the economy has to stay inside that donut. If it stays inside that donut, that's a sustainable way of managing our economy. And that's not based on growth. Can't be based on growth because growth is a fallacy. So anyway, I'll leave you to explore that. It's called donut economics. It seems Amsterdam as a city is going to experiment with that model. So hopefully some new experimentation will happen that'll alter the situation. People are experimenting with something called universal basic income. Universal basic income is you get a certain amount of money from the government because you're a citizen. Whether you're rich or poor, you get that money. And then you can do whatever you want to do with that money. You can spend it any way you want to. Now, can you just imagine each of you got a certain chunk of money from the government for being an Indian or being a Bahraini or being something, right? Do you think that will be useful for you? Do you think you'll be able to put that money to use to do something you've always wanted to do? Well, most people will tell you that's not possible because money doesn't grow on trees. Well, if money doesn't grow on trees, then I wonder where the UK government is going to bring all the money to make up for all the billions they're spending, and where Trump is going to bring the money to make up for all the billions he's spending. And hopefully the billions that Narendra Modi will also spend to save us. So there has to be a different way to look at money. There has to be a different way to look at the economy so that it is equitable. And equitable means it is equal. It takes care of everybody and it doesn't damage the environment. So consider that because of the way the situation is now and because of the tons of money that governments have put into it, I think even the Indian government has put in a good amount of money, but definitely the UK government has put in billions and the US government has put in billions. It is going to have to find a way, and the European Union possibly will also put in billions. They'll have to find a way to make it work without putting the debt onto ordinary people, which is what they did in the past. Oh, we borrowed this money to save you, now you have to pay for it back. Because they're not going to tolerate it. The public is not going to tolerate being burdened with debt, even though this time it was because of COVID. So I'm talking a lot. I'll give you a chance to share in a bit. Okay, let me just establish this thing. Right, I talk about this, I talked about that. Okay, good. So now I'm just going to stop sharing and just open it up for interaction. What do you have to say? What do you see about what I said and whatever? Let's hear from you. Remember to just talk. Put your microphone on if you're talking, otherwise I can't hear you.
Yeah, hi Freddie. It was my aunt Jayashree who told me about this webinar, and I'm quite glad that I
have you got your video on? Have you got your video
yes.
on?
Yes.
You do? Because
yes.
I can't see. Ah, yes. Now I can see. Now I can see. Yes, okay. Please.
Yeah, so it's the alternative economic theory that you put in, the donut theory, is very interesting. And this is something which, you know, I have always questioned. And second, the three mountains that you showed, I think personally, I beg to differ because when you said that we have to address all the three together, I feel that if you address the spiritual divide, the rest will be taken care of. That's in my humble opinion. That's about it.
Yeah, but most people would disagree with you because
well, I'd love to hear
addressing
the counters to that.
I don't think it's worth having an argument about that. What we're
Okay.
talking about
Yeah.
is the economic model. Basic
Yeah.
centerpiece of everything is the
Yeah.
economic model in which the world is existing. And
Yes.
that economic model is causing, number one, it's causing inequity. And number
Yes.
two, it's causing ecological damage. That is what
Yes,
it
it
is
is.
doing. And
Yes.
sitting on the Himalayas and meditating on it is not going to make any change to it.
No. But what I'm saying is, if you are a spiritual seeker, then you will never do anything if you
Yeah,
are connected to
spirituals,
yourself.
the
And
spiritual speakers are not doing anything. They're doing good
no,
stuff.
no,
They're doing all
no,
right,
no,
but they're not
no.
affecting the world positively.
No, what I'm trying to say here is that as an individual or as a group of, I mean, I can speak only for myself, but I'm saying as an individual, if you're connected to your deeper self, you will never harm nature, or neither will you see others as separate from you. I mean, you will always
That's
work from a point
absolutely
of,
true. That's
yeah, that's
absolutely
what I'm
true.
trying to get at. I'm not
But
trying to, yeah.
but there are enough people who are not seekers, enough
Yes,
people who are not
yes,
spiritual, who will keep on
yes,
damaging the environment
that's
and
true.
causing inequity on the planet. So we'd like to
Absolutely.
address the inequity and the damage of the planet, uh, and those who want to spiritually do their spiritual practice, great. But I think it's also possible in dealing with the inequity and in dealing with the ecological challenge, you can also become a spiritual person. You don't need to go to the Himalayas and meditate to become a
No,
spiritual person. You can do
no.
it. You can do it by shifting your perspective from ego to eco right here in the world. I'm not stopping you from going off and doing anything else, but I'm saying it's possible to do it right here, right now,
I
in the world.
also, yeah, Freddie, but the fact that every spiritual seeker is not, I mean, I don't agree with this, you saying that a spiritual seeker is a person who goes off and meditates in the Himalayas. No, absolutely not. A spiritual seeker can be a person who's working, who's living in this world, meeting everyday challenges, and yet doing what he can.
Okay. Okay. Is it all right for
From,
you if we continue to work on the other two?
of course, I'm not against
So if you
that.
got
I'm
your
just saying,
point, you got your
yeah,
point
that's it.
that
Yeah.
if everybody did that, that'll be great. But I
Yeah,
would
but like you
encourage
said, you're
everyone to
right.
work on all three.
Yeah, you're right. There are very few who are spiritual
Yeah,
seekers,
yeah,
actually.
exactly.
So we really need
Exactly.
to address the other two mountains as
We
well.
do. We do.
Yes.
And there are more than three. There are about 7 points, but they stem from these 3 points. So,
Okay.
for example, there is the way we are governed, governance. There is a way we are educated, education. There are a whole lot of other points that come in that stem from
Okay.
these 3 points. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm looking, and also Neeraj, right?
No, I'm Renu. That's my son's
Okay,
ID
he's
I'm
your son.
using.
Okay, Renu. It's also what I'm addressing here is a collective approach, not an
Yes.
individual approach, but a collective approach that we, as a society, as a
Yes.
group, as the world together can do something. And what I want to do is, I think you brought us to the point. I want to show you a little video, everyone. Okay.